So German gymnasts are taking a stand against sexualization in their sport through their outfits. It started with Sarah Voss, who chose to wear a full body piece at a recent European championship, and others soon followed suit. So do you think this will help cause a real shift, particularly in the sports of gymnastics?
It's fascinating. Like, what a concept. Put on some leggings. Like, what a concept. Brittany on Facebook wrote, my daughter competed in gymnastics competitions. She was so incredibly uncomfortable at 8 to 10 years old wearing the required bodysuit. It was often cut high over the pelvic bones and thin over the bottom. This full bodysuit is definitely a great option for gymnastics. When I was younger, I always wanted to be in gymnastics. And one of the things that made me feel like a gymnast, even though my parents couldn't afford classes, was finding like a leotard or a unitard and like pretending to do a cartwheel. And then, like, you know, you do one of those. Yeah, in my living room, I'm like, yes, I'm amazing, right? And it was the outfit.
A somersault, yeah.
It was the outfit, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an Olympic gymnast. And then now when I look at it, I think, oh my gosh, like if you are a gymnast and you start young, you're going to go through puberty as a gymnast. So right away I thought, let me get onto some gymnastics forums this morning, which is like so wild. And here's the thing that is so sad that I learned this morning. There are so many young girls or girls going into adolescence that leave the sport because they have heavy periods. And these uniforms in competition are not, they don't cut it, and they actually quit. And I thought, oh my gosh, how awful. And you know what they all asked for? Biker shorts, maybe, and even these legging options are great. And when you compare it to what men are wearing, ladies, then the sexism seems so obvious, because I was like, what do the men wear on pommel horse? What are the men wearing on rings? Like, hello,
It's not even very
the
tight
sexism.
fitting, in fact. You're totally right.
It's like, why not throw on some stirrup pants, ladies? Like, come on, the sexism seems so obvious now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, then, you know, we've talked before, and people are very aware of also the amount of sexual abuse that's taken place and come to light in the sport of gymnastics. And certainly the change of a uniform is not going to fix abuse in sports. I mean, it's rampant in so many industries. I mean, even in Canada alone, in amateur sports, the sex abuse among hockey and soccer in particular, I think, are at the highest. Now, those are the most played sports. But anyway, just to say that a uniform is not going to change systemic abuse that clearly is a problem that needs to be addressed. But when it comes to outfits, I'm really interested in, like, obviously team sports, I think you need to have a kind of uniform, same. But when it comes to competitive sports, there's long been this argument that somebody, if they go outside the box, that it's going to be distracting to the competition. In particular, in tennis. Do you guys remember when Serena Williams, that she decided to famously wear this all-black compression bodysuit to the French Open? This was after she gave birth, and she'd had a lot of blood clots. So she was doing this really for a very pragmatic reason. But she was then told it was barred, and she wasn't allowed to wear something like that. And, you know, when I did a deep dive, there's been a lot of controversy in tennis because there's a kind of proper way of looking. In fact, actually, in the 80s, there's this woman named Ann White. She also wore a one-piece bodysuit, and it was all white. I mean, and people were like outraged by this. Her competitor claimed it was too distracting. And I'm just going to give you one more bit of history, because I just found this so entertaining, that in the 1950s, an American tennis player named Carol Fageros, I think I'm pronouncing that right, she wore gold lame underpants to the French Open. You can't see that in these black and white shots, but this was a scandal. And again, they were really concerned.
And how were those more scandalous than her bra?
I don't know. I don't know. But it was all about being distracting to the competition, which I find interesting, because as an athlete,
pointy boobs are distracting. Did you see that?
I just found this very
Sarah on
entertaining.
Facebook wrote us, and she said, now, can we do something about the junior high and high school volleyball shorts? Why do we need 13-year-old girls in teeny booty shorts? Does it have something to do with their ability to serve? Even so, there are longer shorts that fit snugly. Sarah, this is hilarious, because in grade 9, I almost didn't try out for the volleyball team because they weren't even the little booty shorts. They were like full-on underwear shorts. And I was terrified to put them on because I had just gotten my period, and I wasn't using tampons yet. I didn't know how. And pad technology, you know, it's come a long way. But back then, you know, it would have been a sight. So I almost did what you were saying, Mel, like I almost didn't try out. But it was the same year that the school fundraised and we got new, just normal gym shorts to play volleyball. And I played, you know?
But it's always like the girls or the women, isn't it? Like it's always about, and you know, I think that it's according to what the athletes are, like the people actually doing the sport, what do they want to wear? You know, we're talking about gymnasts, and Sarah Voss is like, I'm a gymnast, I'm really good at what I do, and I don't think that what I want to wear is going to impede my ability to perform at the top level. That is the key, right? Like the athletes prioritize their performance. So for them, they're like, what is going to help my performance is what I'm going to wear and what makes me most comfortable. I think that should be the question. In certain sports, it's about wearing like more and covering up more. And in other sports, the athletes are about what they feel comfortable in, but maybe it's that they want to wear less or shorter. And that would be the sport I play, which is golf. Very recently, in 2017, the LPGA introduced these bonkers rules for female golfers because they were trying to make golfers look more demure, I guess. So they were like, no short skirts and no racerbacks and this and that. But the rules didn't make sense. Yes, distracting to who? The players themselves wanted to wear these clothes.
What's interesting is the option of choice, because I guess, especially for LPGA, and maybe the argument is made for all women's sports, that's the question, Lainey, I think that you're hinting at, which is, are you wearing it for you and your performance, or is there some like nefarious plot to, is it for the viewers? And I think of other sports, like you were just saying golf, but lacrosse, do you guys even realize that in lacrosse, our women wear skirts, okay? Mm-hmm. But then when you look at the men's uniforms, right? But then this is the guys' uniform. And I'm like, okay.
Whoa.
So are we trying to attract eyes to the sport, in which case we're basically exploiting women's bodies? Or are women choosing, if they have the choice, to wear things because they like it? But is there an alternative for them as well? And I think right away to religion as well.
When it comes to golf, though, it's about the players. It's about the players.
Sure.
Like you have your professional top level players. Michelle Wie saying, I can't wear a racerback tank. Michelle Wie saying, I actually want to look good. And if people look at my outfit and like it and want to wear the same one and attract more people to play golf, which is a sport that needs younger players, how is that a bad thing? I mean, this is what's so confusing about, you know, for me, for example, I play golf. And I don't know if you guys remember, it was in season 2 or 3, we shot a show open with me on a golf course. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wore a non-golf sanctioned outfit. It was a tennis skirt and a t-shirt, super cute, picked for us by a stylist, approved up and down by our network. So it was not immodest attire. I was not flashing my butt, okay? But I did wear something that was not bought at a golf store. Someone complained to our producer. Did you know that?
No.
What? Where?
I took a great shot. Oh my God, I used a great 9-iron shot. I mean, the height I got on this shot. Anyway, they weren't looking at that.
Who complained?
Someone complained.
Where?
I don't want to disclose too much information because probably I'll get in trouble for it, ironically, to our producer saying, she's not wearing golf clothes. Those aren't golf clothes.
Oh my gosh.
This is what I mean. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. I don't know. Anyway, I was promoting the sport. I play golf so much. I pay for my course fees. I support golf courses. And you're telling me when I'm on national television supporting the sport, you're not wearing proper golf clothes.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
what we're dealing with here. So
The person has too much time on their hands.
Lainey, call us after the show. What we're going to